I don't really like doing shadow on my bottom lash line because I feel like it gives the I get beat by my husband look. I look like I have black eyes. Black eyes, not black guys. God. I mean, I could get black eyes if I wanted to, but I'm married now.
Hold on. I was like, wait, what?
Alright. Welcome to my second episode of Happy Hour. Tonight I'm going on a date, so I figured I can just do my makeup and chit chat with you. What more fun than getting ready together? Drink of choice today, it's 2 o'clock, or it's 1:30. It's more like 1:30. I'm gonna have a cup of coffee, cup of joe. I got this really cool Martha Stewart, travel makeup thing. I don't remember how much it cost me, but it can hold the brushes on this side, and then it has just all this room to hold your other junk. I really think that I could use a makeup makeover. When I tell you I have had the same eyeshadow palette for the past long time. I probably only use maybe 5 colors in this entire palette, and there's about 35 colors. And I only use 5 of them, so it's like, why do you have 35 and it's all breaking slowly over time? And it's messy. It's so messy. So I really need to figure that out. And also all my brushes are they're falling apart. I'm taping them together so that they don't fall apart. It's just getting a little out of control. Now I'm not quite sure what kind of a eye look I want to do, but I'm going to start with my eyebrows. I have tape. Oh, there you are. There's this girl on TikTok. Her name is, my hair is just... Ignore my hair, okay? I recently got bangs and I'm still figuring them out, and sometimes I look like a little, what's that word? What's the berries and cream boy or some shit like that? Do you know what I'm talking about? I don't know what I'm talking about. But there's this girl on TikTok and she will do her makeup with tape, like her eyeshadow stuff with tape. And when I tell you, it ends up looking so good every single time. Sorry if I'm gurgling and stuff. I think the coffee's giving me, indigestion. Which is like, oh, you turn 25 and you get indigestion? That's awesome. And now that I don't know what has made the difference. I take a brown shadow and I just call it good. I really should probably get like a brown, brow pencil. But I feel like there's not a lot of product in the house. Okay, I have a point to make. I just am trying to make this as less awkward as possible. Okay. Sorry. Okay. I think that works. Okay. What was I going to say? Oh, the brow pencils. I feel like that there's just not a lot of product in brow pencils. Done the Anastasia Beverly Hills brow pomade thingy, but I don't know. It's like, it just looks so 2016 brow, like painted on. Whereas I just kind of dust over with eyeshadow, and I feel like it gives it a more natural look and less like I'm trying to paint my eyebrows on. I don't want it to look like that. Okay, sorry, my head hurts, and whenever it's that time of the month, I get migraines, and I'm just really hoping I don't get one, because if I get a migraine, I get nauseous, and if I get nauseous, I flow up. I don't want to flow up. Also, see what I mean? If I get a migraine, I will literally get sick, and I don't want to get sick, and there was one time, maybe like a year ago, I had a couple of instances at my old job where I was bartending, and the work was very physical, and I would get exhausted really quickly, And I mean, the job was very physical, and like, don't get me wrong, I can do a physical labor job, no big deal. But if I'm, for some reason, if I was there busting my butt, the kitchen was all the way across the restaurant, and I'd have to go get my own glassware, my own like bartending supplies and stuff. Have to go do a complete loop around the restaurant to get fruit. Like, it was just so much walking and lifting with like so much distance involved. It was just a lot. But I think after I had my daughter, my whole like physical, there's like a word for it. I feel like stamina is the word, but I feel like that's also not the word. I feel like there's like a little bit of a bad context with that word, so I'm just not going to use it. I feel like that's like when you talk about men's like sex drive. Is that what that is? I don't know. Well, I'm not trying to explain it that way, but after I had my daughter, my capabilities, how much I can handle, became much far less than what it used to be before. Before, it was like, if you're going to draft me into the Third World War, I will beat everybody and knock everybody down that's in my way. Like, I was literally that convinced. But now it's like, ooh, I don't know if I can do that. So my point is that there was one instance at work that I had like a terrible, terrible migraine. Like, I never felt this before. Like, it was this shooting pain right here in my head. And I was like, this is different. This is odd. Let me just sit this one out. I'm trying to sit down, take a break. And I'm just trying to take it easy. I try to eat something, but then it's like I'm so nauseous that I can't. Luckily, I had eaten when I got to work, or before I got to work, so that was good. I tried to take like a Tylenol, or some kind of like headache medication to just like help with like at least relieve my migraine. And that didn't work, which was shocking, because normally if I just take like some kind of an anti-inflammatory, like whatever that is, or you know what I'm talking about, if I usually try to take one of those, and it helps a lot, but this did zero, like nothing. And I was like, what the hell is wrong with me? So the night goes on, I'm trying to push through it, and the more that I'm just like trying to push through, I start feeling so like dizzy, like drunk dizzy, and I'm like, this is just got to be the worst migraine I've ever had. And so then I start losing feeling in my legs, and I felt like I started to feel me losing feeling in my legs whenever I started to go walk to my manager across the restaurant to tell them that I'm like not well. I start walking across the restaurant, and it starts like doing this, and I'm like so by the time I got to her, I keep bumping into this. By the time I got over to her, I lost feeling in my legs, and I was trying to stand there, and I couldn't. I had to lean on something. I thought I was going to pass out. And so I told her, I was like, oh my God, I think I'm about to pass out. I don't know what the hell is wrong with me. I'm not trying to be dramatic, but like, something is seriously wrong. And I'm not one to be like, I'm sick, like somebody take care of me. I'm not like that. I'm usually just like, oh, this sucks, like I would love it if you could just bring me a cup of chicken noodle soup and like a hot tea and just let me rot on the couch. Like, that's what I want. But I'm not gonna just like make a scene for everybody to just be like, what's wrong, what can I do to help you? And I can just be like, bring me a water. Get over yourself. So I wasn't like trying to be dramatic. So I was literally like, okay, I think that I'm about to have a stroke, because I started losing feeling in my legs. Then I started losing feeling in my left arm, but not my right. And I was like, uh-oh, that's not good. So I call my husband, and I was like, I think you need to come pick me up and take me to the emergency room. And he comes and picks me up, and we go to the emergency room that's down like the street-ish from our house. And in the car ride on the way there, I start seizing. I start shaking, trembling like if you would, with a seizure. I cannot speak anymore. I've lost, like, I'm trying to speak words, and it's like I know what I'm trying to say in my head, but they're just not coming out of my mouth. And I'm trying to move my left arm and like squeeze my palm, because I remember my mom, like, with her working in with like going to nursing homes and independent living and like hospice and stuff. I just heard like medical advice like throughout time, and I just remember hearing like, if you're gonna have a stroke, squeeze your hand. That gets the blood running through the veins, or I suppose. I don't know. I think that might be right. I could be wrong. But I figured that that was the best I could do. And so, like, my brain is telling me to do it, but my brain's not connecting with my muscles. So it's like nothing was working. So that's making me freak out. And I'm, like, looking at my husband, and I'm trying to tell him, like, am I dying right now? Like, am I literally dying? And I remember I started, like, my husband had to get our daughter out of bed because she was asleep, I think, because we had to come here. No. My daughter had picked her up, of course. Like, my husband had gotten my daughter and then picked me up and brought us to our house because he needed to put, like, better clothes on our daughter because she barely had any, like, clothes on. And then he had to put better clothes on or whatever. But, like, diapers, bottle, like, whatever. The essentials, because you're going to be at the emergency room for a long time. And so he gets all of the stuff, and I remember I was sitting in the car, and I was literally praying because I was sitting there, like, seizing while he was inside, and I'm, like, doing this, like, it was so scary. And I just start praying to God. I'm like, I don't know what's wrong with me, but if I'm going to die right now, can you just at least make sure that, like, my husband and my daughter will always be okay, and, like, they'll find a way to, make life work. And if my husband has to work, can you find somebody that will, take care of my daughter? And can you please make sure that my parents will be around for much longer so that they can get to know my husband more and they can spend time with my daughter more? And I was literally just like making this like, if I'm gone prayer, because I've never had like a serious health issue besides breaking my back when I was 14, but that's a whole other discussion that I can get into. But it wasn't that, like, insane. Like, I've never been to the ER in my life. And so this was extremely scary, very traumatic, and so I get to the ER, they do blood tests, they check my I don't know what it is, but now when I get angry, I'm that dude from Home Alone. Whenever he gets mad, he'll go, that's me now. I don't know why. It's like a mixture of mom and like, I don't know. So I get to the ER, they do like the vitals and stuff, check my blood, check my heart rate, blood pressure. They said something about was it my iron? I think it was something about iron. Was it iron? TBH, I don't remember much, so it's kind of hard to explain what happened if I don't really remember what happened. Which I thought was kind of funny that, like, my husband couldn't come back with me. I just thought that was so strange. Like, he could come back to the room, but, like, while they were drawing my blood, like, he couldn't be there. And I was like, lady, I can't even talk. My brain is not connecting with my mouth, so what do you mean I can't? My husband needs to be here for me, but I guess that was not an option. So I was talking to her like, and she was like, oh, okay. Apparently, nothing was wrong. Nothing was wrong. Nothing was wrong? You're telling me I just needed to take a little pill that had iron in it, which I think is what they said. Don't remember, because I was not very conscious. So whatever, I take the vitamin that I suppose I was lacking. I stop shaking. Oh yeah, they take me to get a CT scan. I get a CT scan. Nothing's wrong. Nothing's wrong. Nothing at all. So then later on, I obviously go see my doctor, and I'm like, what the hell was that? She tells me, well, let's get you an MRI, a brain scan. And I'm like, yep, well, got a CT scan. That said nothing, but an MRI will give more detail. So I go get an MRI at the same hospital. Sorry, I'm just trying to be very careful and not stab myself in the eye while I do my tight line. Also, I got this Maybelline Define-A-Line black eyeliner. Don't get this. It's trash. You put it on, it comes right off. But, however, smears, it doesn't come off, but it comes off. I hate it. However, Elf, no budge, retractable eyeliner. Cheaper, awesomer. So anyways, I get the MRI. MRI says, it appears you might have had chronic sinusitis, and which may or may not. I forget my camera stops recording after 20 minutes. Now I'm gonna have to repeat whatever the frick I just said 2 minutes ago. I get the MRI. I get an MRI. Then they're like, okay, so it appears you might have had like chronic sinusitis. I think. Well, they think. And I'm like, okay. And so then I guess that means that cysts can develop in my sinuses. And then, so it's like I'm not really getting answers besides it could have been chronic sinusitis and that there could have been cysts in my sinus. But I never really got like a firm confirmation what the frick that means. And so I'm like just a girl and I Google, what does this mean? Google it. Come to find out, if a cyst in your sinus can rupture, like if your sinuses get too inflamed, it can put a lot of pressure on a cyst, I suppose, make the cyst rupture, which is probably because it's happening right here, which is probably why I had a shooting pain in my head, because I was stressing myself out at work by doing all of this physical labor, I suppose. And we were also in the stress of buying our first house. So it's like a lot of stress, I guess, was going on. I can see now. You can have a seizure if a cyst in your sinus ruptures, is what I read. So I'm assuming that's what happened, but nobody can explain why I lost feeling in my limbs. And not to mention, the day after, no, more like several days after, I still had like little to no feeling in my left leg, which was so terrifying. So then I'm like paranoid that I'm going to have some kind of like seizure episode again. My wings look awful. But it's fine. He's not going to be looking at the wings on my eyes. That's what he's not going to be looking at. And so I have just been paranoid that I'll have another episode. So I've just been please don't come in here. I'm shy. Why you no sleep? Why you no sleep? Your Mimi specifically requested that you had a nap before you go over to her house. Yeah. So can we negotiate a deal and you can... Yeah, it is soft. Can we negotiate a deal and have you take a nap at some point? Because I'm not going to lie, we've got to leave in an hour and a half. Do you want to watch Kitty in Mama's room?
Okay.
Okay. You're not sleepy? You're not tired? Period. Yeah. Let me put this concealer on before I smear it onto my 2-year-old. I have the concealer sitting on my hand, on the top of my hand, so that it kind of dries up a little. I've noticed that the consistency is thicker whenever I do it like that. And also, I don't use concealer. I use a full coverage foundation that's a couple shades lighter than my skin, because there's more product, and what's the damn difference? That's just me. Okay, let's go put on Kitty in Mama's room. Okay? I accidentally hit her with the TV remote. Sometimes I'm just a goofy goober. I've got the door wide open and I get so nervous. I'm like, don't look at me. I don't know what the hell it is. You put a camera in front of me, girl won't shut the hell up. You put someone in front of me while a camera's on me, don't look at me. I'm nervous. Then I get camera shy. It's like, what? Maybe that's stage fright. Maybe that's what that is. See what I mean? I just like physically can't do these things anymore. I will say, I've been working out, and then, funny enough, where did my beauty blender go? Oh, it's right in front of my face. I did a Pilates challenge. I started a Pilates challenge with this chick named Pilates by Izzy on YouTube. Look her up. Just do it. Literally, just do one of them. Do one of her videos. I swear to God, you're going to understand what I'm talking about. So I'm like, talk about stress on the brain. Probably shouldn't have done that. But, I don't know why I'm blending my eyes with the beauty blender, but like, let's just see what happens. Okay. So I was doing her workouts and I was like, okay, all right. Did them for 3 days. Then got such a bad cold for 3 weeks. Coughing up mucus, like green, green stuff, had a fever at one point, like sick for like 3 weeks. I just started doing her workouts. I'm like, what kind of bullshit did this turn on? Like, I never get sick, and how the hell do I get sick out of nowhere after I just started working out? Is that my body being like, what are you doing? Can't be. I'm too lazy to go put water in my beauty blender, so I'm just going to spray the crap out of it with setting spray, and hopefully that'll be enough. I'm not trying to be lazy. I'm just trying to, kill two birds with one stone. Does that make sense? I'm sorry if I keep hitting the microphone. It's really just like, I don't know what else you want from me. I'm going to take my AirPod out because there's zero reason for me to wear it if my phone is on my butt. But yeah, I was nervous that it was going to happen again. And so I was taking work pretty slowly. But I was like, really like hesitant on doing so many things because I'm like, I don't want to have a freaking moment again where I'm going to have to get somebody to drive me to my house, take me to the ER, and have my husband, like, not that it's an inconvenience, but I don't want to freak anybody out if I'm being told that it's nothing, right? I don't want my husband to come in and see me doing this. I get so camera shy. It's fine. It's like, girl, you stood naked in front of him. Like, what are you so scared about? Girl, shut up. So anyways, who knows, to this day, who knows what the heck happened to me? The world may never know. But it happened again. Well, it almost happened again, but I caught it early because I knew I was getting one of those, like, headaches again. But can I pause real quickly? This butter bronzer by Physicians Formula that's been so popular for so long, why is it orange? It's orange. I look like a freaking Oompa Loompa when I put this freaking crap on my face. And then people will be like, oh, you got some sun? I'm like, no, I look like I squashed an Oompa Loompa and smeared him on my freaking forehead. I don't like it. But, like, why am I putting it on? Because I want to look sun-kissed. I don't have anything else that's going to make me look like I have life in me. You know what I mean? Like, I'm a widow. I'm white. And it's like, I think that when I look sun-kissed, I get more confidence because it looks like I have some kind of life in me. Like, if I'm pasty white, you know what else is white? Dead people. You know what else is pasty white? Raw chicken. I feel like I look like raw chicken. I don't like it. It makes me feel like I feel like I'm a walking corpse, and I hate it. I look like I'm walking around and I have some kind of like I'm about to fall, like you could flick me and I'd fall over because I just look so pale and fragile. Is that mean? I can say that, right? Well, I already said it, so there's no going back. Don't look at me. It's fine. God dang it. So it did happen again where I started to feel that pain, that shooting pain in my head. And so I was getting super nervous. I catch it early on. I immediately step outside of work and I'm outside trying to just like calm down, not stare at any lights, not like, put too much pressure on my head. But I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to throw up everywhere. And it was so bad. Luckily I have a phobia of throw up, so I have a very strong stomach, so I have trained myself to not throw up, which I feel like is not a good thing. But sorry, I'm afraid. And I don't get sick or anything, but I get that raging pain in my head. And so I have to leave work again. I get home, I lay on the couch, put my legs up. But I think I put like an ice pack on my head or something, and it's like whenever I get in that kind of like that headache, that feeling, it's like I immediately have to lie down and close my eyes and just go to sleep. Oh, I'm so camera shy. It's literally so fine. So luckily that time I didn't seize or anything. But I definitely had that shooting pain in my head that felt exactly like it did before. So when I got my new job, the one that I have now, I was like, hey, if I do too much on myself, I could get a really bad headache that could possibly turn into a seizure. So just letting you know. Anyway, that's that. I wanted to talk about something else. Now, let me put you on another thing. Maybelline Sky High Lash Sensational Mascara. I think they sell it by like the 4-pack at Costco. Genius. I'm never going back to any other mascara. There's nothing else out there, I'm telling you, that is as good as this. I've tried the luxurious brands of mascara. It's a bunch of BS. I think it's a bunch of nonsense. I get this one and I never flake. I never clump. I can remove it off of my face without having to get sandpaper. That's a joke. Don't put sandpaper on your eyelids. I don't really like doing shadow on my bottom lash line because I feel like it gives I get beat by my husband look. I look like I have black eyes. Black eyes, not black guys. God. I mean, I could get black eyes if I wanted to, but I'm married now. I hope my grandma's not watching this. I had a really weird coincidence happen yesterday. Part of me, I really feel like I'm an empath, like an insane empath, where like I can just feel like something's gonna happen, or like I can pick up on energy, if you will. And I might sound crazy, but you know what? That's not your problem. It's mine. I'm the one that's living with it. So my husband was coming home, and I was going to hang out outside with our daughter until he got home, and highlighter, that's what I'm missing. So we were gonna sit outside, but it was like I was inside making my coffee, watching TikToks, kind of hee laughing, and then out of nowhere I'm like, oh my God, I'm crying. I'm sobbing my eyes out. I don't know why. I don't know what's going on. What's making me sad? Let's dissect this. I'm trying to dissect why I'm crying for no reason. I'm like, okay, maybe it's that time of the month. But then I thought to myself, yeah, but like normally I have a reason to cry. Like if I'm on my cycle, God forbid I talk about my period and there's a guy out there that's gonna be like, ew! What the? How? That's disgusting! Shame on you. I needed my lip pencil. Let me outline my lips and then open my mouth and start talking about what I'm gonna talk about. Ooh, can I tell you a pet peeve? I hate it when I see people with the perfect Cupid's bow. Like a Cupid's bow, this thing. And they just draw a straight line across. What are you doing? No. You draw a straight line across your Cupid's bow. Don't do that. I want to see those two sharp lines that are right above your top lip. It's like looking at a sharp jawline. Let me look at it. Don't draw a straight line and pretend it doesn't exist, you jerk. Anyways. So I'm crying for no reason. I'm like, what could possibly be wrong? My life is literally perfect. Girl, what are you even crying about? I'm like, let's just sit outside, get some vitamin D, and I'll probably feel better. Can anybody else hear electricity and it hurts your ears? Can anybody else hear? So we go outside. We sit outside while I'm waiting for my husband to get home. Did I already talk about this story? Did I already talk about this? I don't remember. Are you ready? Oh, I do need to do my setting spray. Okay, you gonna help me? Oh, you want setting spray?
Okay.
Okay, just close your eyes. Close your eyes.
Okay.
Ready? 1, 2, 3. Oi! Okay, now mama. And not even 5 minutes goes by, and my neighbors pull up, and they're like, hey, I'm so sorry to tell you this, but our neighbor just passed away. I was like, I was literally bawling my eyes out like less than 5 minutes ago, and I had no idea why I was so sad. And now you're approaching me with extremely sad information. That's insane. Our neighbor was like the grandpa of the block, and it was really bizarre because he would go fishing at like 4 in the morning, go to the gym all the time, mow his own lawn, clean his car. He was an active guy. He was also in the military, so it was like he was an active guy and like really smart, strong, full of life. And then it was just to hear that he and his wife will live here half the year and then live in Pennsylvania half the year. And he will take like an Alaska trip once a year, I think, is what I heard, to go fishing. And it was just like, what do you mean out of nowhere? He just is gone. Like, what? I literally just talked to him. It's sad, it's strange. And then you're like, damn, I guess life can do that. So that was just really, really sad. And then our neighbors who told us have known him for like 30 years. And they've lived here and raised their kids here. And they've just known them their, like, majority of their life. So it's just like, wow. Damn. So that was sad. But it was just a crazy coincidence all at the same time. Like, it was like I felt the feeling before I got the information. Like, it's just very bizarre. I like to think that I can hear things, see things. My psychiatrist calls that psychosis, but you know, I think that maybe we've all got a little bit of something in us that maybe can connect us to something further on a different plane of existence, maybe. Call me crazy, but at least I'm certified. So yeah, I mean, ever since I was like 14, that was whenever I started to see stuff. And I don't think I was crazy then.
Mama, you wear a balloon?
Sure, thanks. But I definitely did start seeing things whenever I was in my like adolescence, approaching puberty, and I can't finish a thought whenever my toddler starts talking because my brain shuts off, because I guess that's one of my mom instincts, is that when my kid starts talking, any thought in my brain just disappears and then I just completely forget what I'm talking about. Which is why I was trying to get her to take a nap so that I could finish all of my thoughts and not forget all of them. But it's okay. So yeah, I was like 14 whenever I first started seeing things, and then I was kind of like, maybe it's a coincidence, maybe it's just my brain, until my dreams started to get a little interesting. And then it was kind of like my dreams would kind of become like my reality. And I don't really know how to do these bangs yet, so like just bear with me if I look like an idiot. Please just be kind and know that it's a part of it's a learning curve, okay? It's just part of life when you cut your bangs and you just don't know how to work them yet. I'm gonna try and think of the first instance that I ever really saw something. I think I had to have been still in middle school or like freshman year of high school. Yeah, I think it was like middle school. I had a back injury when I was 14. I played a bunch of sports at once, and I was also growing really quickly, I guess. All of that combined was too much, and so I think I just grew way too quickly, and that caused me to break part of my back. And one night I was doing my ritual of Oreos and milk, and I get my milk out of the fridge. I'm closing the door. Or no, I'm getting the milk, turning around to set it on the counter. Back snaps. Awesome! I'm literally writhing in pain, and I eventually figure out that it's like a little fracture. No biggie, but it's I eventually recover from that, whatever. But then it's funny, later on in that same part of the kitchen, one day, once again, I'm opening the fridge to get maybe milk out of the fridge, whatever, and I turn, put it on the counter, and I look up, and right by the fridge, I see some guy who's a little bit older than me standing in the living room looking out the window. And I remember to this day exactly what it looked like. He had a white he had like a white shirt on that was a bit bigger on him, that had two strings coming down. He had some kind of like, maybe like brown or black pants. I think it was brown pants that were kind of bigger on him too. And these like knee-high boots, almost like what you see when people ride horses. He was wearing those. He was looking out the window, and I don't know if he had his like hands in his pockets. I remember vividly like his face. He looked so at peace. And it only lasted like maybe a second, and then it was gone. It was like I looked, and then I blinked, and it was gone. So it was literally like not even a second maybe. And then oh my god, there's this flag that I put up on our house for the 4th of July, and it'll like fly up, and I'm like I'm telling scary stories, and that's scaring me. I don't like that. It was so funny. My best friend is moving into a new house, and I'm helping her move. And I'm helping her move into her house, and I go outside to the moving truck, I think, to help like move some stuff. Go out there. And as I'm walking into the moving truck to grab some stuff, or going in with some stuff, I see the same guy walking across the yard. What do you mean? He's just checking things out. And again, split second, but I just see him kind of walking across. And I'm like, what? So, obviously, like, that wasn't something normal. But it's just something that I would see. And I don't know, but I've expressed this to my psychiatrist. And she's like, I don't know about that. But I'm like, also, I'm spiritual, and I believe in things like this, where things can pop up to people if they've got if they've got some kind of a gift. I think that it's possible. You can take with that what you will, and I can take with it what I will. And I think that could have been just somebody hanging out with me. I don't know. And also people will say, well, be careful, don't tap into it, because you never know if it's something bad disguising as something good. And I was like, that's true as well. So, I don't know. That was the first instance. And then later on in that school year, I think, this was right before going into high school, I had seen, I called them, this is going to sound so psycho, but I saw these things that I would call glows. Gotta make sure my voice memos are still recording. Okay. I would see these things called what I would call glows. And basically it would be a big glowing light, and sometimes it would be different colors. And I eventually did like color research or something on like what certain colors mean to help like understand if they were good or bad, which obviously I feel like you could tell. But I would see behind my English teacher these two big glowing lights, and I don't remember if they were like a light blue or a light yellow. I don't remember. But I remember seeing these, and I would always be either reading my book in class or just not looking at her. And she would get so frustrated, like, why aren't you paying attention? And I'm like, I'm sorry, but I just it hurts my eyes to look at you. Like, I see these huge lights behind you. And she and I were never, like, crazy close or anything. But after I told her that, she started crying. And she was like, my parents died when I was super young. Like, I think she was maybe younger than 10 or something like that. When both of her parents passed away, I think. So when I told her that, she starts crying and tells me that. And I'm like, whoa. And I went to a Catholic school. So to her, that was like, you have something going on, and it's a blessing. Like, that at least I know in some kind of a way, whether it's real or not, somebody's watching over me. And that like just gave her so much peace, which was a really cool thing. But unfortunately after that, I went on like this summer vacation with my parents. Really fun vacation. But we stayed in this hotel in Jackson Hole, Wyoming. And we were by the Grand Teton Mountains, like the bottom of the Teton Mountains, say cheese. Oh, don't move it, please. Be careful. It's okay. I just don't want to knock it over. And it was by like the town, but it was also kind of like off to the side. I don't remember what we did that day, but we got back to the hotel. We're getting ready for bed. My parents have like their own little room, and then I'm just in the living room of the hotel room. All the lights are turned off. I'm starting to change my clothes, and I hear a growl and a breath on my neck. Awesome. Literally scared the absolute poop out of me. No, it didn't. It didn't scare the poop out of me. It just scared the daylights out of me. So I immediately I don't know. I don't remember if I screamed. I don't remember if I just started sobbing. But after that, I have been so extremely scared of the dark. I have to have a nightlight on at some point, somewhere. I cannot sleep. I cannot be in a room that's all dark. I'm terrified of the dark. So I get my dad, and he spends the entire night with me. I'm like 14 or 15, and it's like I was freaking out. So after that, I was like, God, make this stop. I don't want to see this anymore. I do not want to see that ever again. I don't know what that was. Me personally, I think that could have possibly been, can you do it right here? I think that could have possibly been like maybe something Native American, that's like, you white bitch, get off my land kind of thing. I don't know. But I mean, to me, I really do think it was some kind of like a bad energy that was just kind of lingering because of just, history. And I think that for some reason I maybe had some sort of like an open door spiritually, and something came through and was just like wanting to wreak havoc maybe. I don't know how all that crap works, but call me crazy, I don't care. But that is what it is. She's asking me to draw a cat on my body with my eyeliner, which is so funny. I at least was able to make all of what I was seeing stop, because I prayed so much for it to stop, and then it did. But then I felt guilty, because it was like, well, if I have something that could like, you see mediums, psychics and stuff, and you kind of question like, is it real? So then I was like, well, if what I'm doing is possibly like good. You know, I already mentioned it, but I like to think that some of us might be able to see some things, and I thought that I did, so I felt guilty. And then I was like, oh man, I wonder like if I could tap back into it without, like letting anything bad in. But then it's like, how do you, put up like a wall? And I don't know. I don't know. I literally all my life have been a major ghost nerd. So like any ghost hunting TV show I was probably watching. And there was like these YouTube guys that I would watch that I was obsessed with. And they're from Kansas. And I am almost convinced I met them at one point at Worlds of Fun, like years ago, because we're like around the same age. And my best friend and I would be at Worlds of Fun almost every single day throughout an entire summer. And I am so dead convinced that she and I met them one time, which I just think is so hilarious. But besides the point, they're like these paranormal ghost hunter guys, and I literally was obsessed with them for so long. Then it was like I got paranoid, and it was like if I'd get paranoid, then I would like experience like more scary things. And so I was like, I should just not look into it anymore. I should just not think about it, not open myself up to it, because whether it's real or not, I'm paranoid, and I feel like that's not healthy for my little brain. So any hoosers, I had a couple other instances that were good and really beautiful, like having this guy in my class. His mom passed away, I think in high school, from cancer, and I knew him pretty well, and I remember his mom. I went to middle school with him and high school with him, and then out of nowhere, his mom like came to me in a dream at our high school, and she was like, can you just tell him that like I'm just so proud of him, and then everything that he's doing is exactly what he should be doing. And I messaged him like after high school, because I think this happened after high school. And I messaged him and I was like, hey, this is extremely insane and you're going to think I'm absolutely psychotic. But regardless of what this dream is, I believe in this stuff, and I think your mom wants you to know this. And he was like, that's awesome. That's insane. That's awesome. Great to know. And now he's happily married, and it's just beautiful to watch. So yeah. Was there another instance that I could think of? I'm not quite sure, but I just try to not tap too much into it, because it's like you never know. But I love talking about it. I love learning about it, but I just don't want to invite anything bad in while my life is literally beautiful and perfect. So I have to go get ready for a date. I don't know what the frick I'm wearing, and I'm probably going to try on 10 different outfits and might be in a bad mood after trying all of them on. But it's fine. I'm not going to be in a bad mood. I'm just going to feel worried about looking like a fool in public. But it's fine. No worries. The clothes are going to come off anyway. Yeah, I think that's all that I have for now. I hope the second episode was interesting. This is my third time recording this week, and I'm sick of it because I don't really know what my rhythm is yet. So, I hope this was fun for you. My TikTok is Cat's Funny. I'm trying to post on there, but I'm prioritizing this, so before I get back on there, for now it's just going to be silly voiceovers, which I think is really fun, but nothing too interesting over there. But if you just want to follow me, on here, I think that I will start making, hello, I will be able to start making an income, on here if I get 500 subscribers, I think. That's like to help start making money off your content on here. So if I can hit 500, I've only got like 22 right now. So if I could get 500, that'd be so kind of you to do that for me. Because I'm trying to make this a career so that I don't ever have to go back into the corporate world. Doing dishes in my own house and cleaning my own house and raising my babies is like my dream, but you gotta pay the mortgage somehow. And also, my husband does not deserve to work all the hard working hours that he works and the stress that he has to go through. He deserves something better. And if I can use my good looks and funny and exciting and pretty and fun personality and put it on the internet and I can make money doing that, I'm gonna try. We'll see what we'll see what happens. Yeah, thanks for spending another happy hour with me. I'll see you next week. Hopefully next week won't be a bore, won't be a drag, but I'll figure it out. Okay, well, I'll see you next week. Don't know what else to say to you besides bye.